Oops, it looks like I'm live. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hello, my friends. We've had a bit of a problem with getting up there live. That's okay because it's the energies of today. Welcome to the show. I am Nicole. I am your enlightened enchantress. I am coming at you from a bunker near Area 51 in an undisclosed location. Aren't the energies crazy today? They have been this week, and we're not even in Mercury retrograde yet. And you know what? I'm just going to do a quick check here that we're all right. Such a blessing to be here, folks. Such a blessing. We are here. Beautiful, beautiful, my friends. We are in the right place. And I thank you for your patience. Last week we had a few glitches. And so I have brought my equipment here with me in the little area that I work at. So I have everything at my disposal so I can be here 100% for you. Welcome again to the Soulful Illumination Show. It is great to have you here. Today, we've got a great show. It's just going to be me today. No guest. We're going to do a lot of energy forecast, and we are going to talk about that dragon energy. It has been calling to me the strength of the dragons. But first, before I get ahead of myself, I want to bring to you the sponsor of the show today. And that sponsor is doTERRA. Okay. Why? Why doTERRA? Because it's natural. It's all natural substances. It's grown, it's harvested with love. It has potent energies in it. And they are very much into healing people and allowing people to heal themselves, no matter where you're from. And if you don't know, folks that don't know me, I have gone through years and years of being in the hospital. I had a tiny little bout with cancer, I had immune issues. I have had so many issues. As a child, I was in and out of the hospital just constantly. It was part of my routine, sometimes weeks at a time, sometimes daily, constantly being probed and prodded. And I felt, hey, I would have rather been in an alien ship because at least I would have a better story for you to tell. But at this point, we're talking about something that's going to help you. It's vitamins. We all need vitamins and we all need substances. We all need right now to be at our best selves, to heal our temple, to make sure that we are in balance, to make sure we're at a harmony. And how do we do that? We add substances to our body to help the nutrition and the balance and the holistic. Once you heal, and we are all at a moment of healing ourselves, each other, the earth. And as we're in these moments, in this moment right now, we have to be healthy. You want something that has turmeric in it. You want something that has natural essential oils in it. You want something that is natural herbs and oils. And being an herbalist and being an aromatherapist myself and working with higher energies as a crystal Reiki master, the energy here is potent. It is powerful. and it's something that will help you no matter how good you're healing, no matter how good you are taking care of yourself. Right now, we're going through so much stress, and there is a lot of toxicity in our body that is clearing. And we want to make sure that we support that clearing and cleansing by putting good nutrition in our bodies, and that's how we do it. So let's look at our mental health well-being as a whole, and that's doTERRA. So you can check the link out on my page. It is mydoterra.com/Illuminate Vegas, and I will have that up on the screen. Of course, if you ever have a question about anything that I do, you want more information, you can go to Nicole Borghi at sabotagesmasher.com. That's my email. You can email me at illuminatingvegas@gmail.com. That will all be there for you. Just reach out and say, hey, I want some more information about what you talk to. What are the dragon energies about? What is this nutrition stuff about? Why are you doing that? Because I need help. We all need a hand. We all need a helping hand. And it is so important that we are able, especially in this day and age, that we know we can't do it all ourselves. Okay? We need help. We need a hand. We need to be able to ask for help, ask for healing, and find out more. Do some research. Don't get too crazy with it. It's okay to look something up. It's okay to know what you're doing, understand, and be in the state of awareness of who you are and what are you putting in your body and what are you surrounding yourself with, right? So let's get with it today and let's talk about elemental beings. Elemental beings are great, wonderful beings. They give us beautiful energies, right? They give us these great energies. They assist us, they guide us, and they help us to heal. They help us to reach our ascension. So, excuse me for just a moment. I am just checking that everything is okay and that it gets to where it's going to get, because I want everybody to be able to share and see and get that knowledge. It is so important that I share these experiences with you because I know there's so many people going through this time and that they want to be enlightened. And that's what I do. I assist people, I assist women with, and it could be men. You know what? I really am here to assist the sisters in finding that ascension, having you find that ascension. I want people to understand that it's time to get clear, time to open our psychic eye, because when that is healed, we know that we have healed those mental health issues. We have healed our depression, we have healed our stress, and we are able to combat the stress going down the road because we are healthy, we're happy, and we are open. When we are open to what's going on around us and we are in a state of awareness, not in a hyper state of fear, but a beautiful state of awareness. That is so very, very important that we understand what is going on around us. What are we doing at this moment? Not only for ourselves, but for those around us, right? We want to be able to be surrounded by beautiful beings. And how do we do that? We attract others, other beautiful beings, by being the beautiful being ourselves. How do we get there? We ask questions. And people always say, you got to ask the right question to get the right answer. Well, how do you know what the right question is? It's time to get into the point of scripting your life. And that is done through setting your intentions and your goals. Start out small and put it down on paper. I want to be enlightened. I want to level up. I want to know my guides. I want to meet the elvish beings. I want to meet that dragon energy, and I want to feel it and I want to experience it. And how do you do that? You can call upon these entities, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Gabriel. Can you just feel that? Just when you chant that, that is spelling it out. That is chanting it and giving it to the power of those beings to come within your auric field, to open up that realm and to bring you that energy and that feeling. And sometimes you can feel it in a little bit. You have to recognize that. And in order to recognize those powers and being visited by your spirit guides and angels, and that they're there at all times, you have to be in a state of awareness. You have to be able to open up. It is opening up your heart and it is opening up your third eye. So that's clarity and intuition. Your faith is not only love for yourself, and that's where that begins, but it's also love for others and the beings around you and those guides. And as you love yourself and as you take care of yourself, because self-love is tough love. It's hard. It's hard to love ourselves. Why? Because we're told we don't have time for that. We're told it's not necessary. But I don't want to be in the hospital anymore. I'm tired of going to the doctor. I want to walk away from that part of my life. I don't get me wrong. I don't want to forget about it because I want to understand where I was at that point in life so I can heal and help others ascend and level up in their life. But I'm ready for better. I'm ready to boss it up, right? I'm ready to bring it up that level. I'm ready to smash that sabotage. And how do I do that? I have clarity. Clarity here, intuition on the third eye. But that doesn't come unless you open your heart. It's that heart awakening. It's the trust and it's the faith in yourself. Have faith in yourself. It's the I am energy, adding that God to that, adding the higher spirits to that, adding source, adding creator to that. And knowing that we can talk about this faction and those people and this church. Hey, I've been there. I've been kicked out of better places. And you get godless when they abandon you at your time of need. But it's understanding and that awareness and that awakening that God is everywhere, that you are God. I am. Breathe it in. I am that God. And you see, all of this is one. All of this is part of the awakening. Clarity, intuition, consciousness, faith, and trust are part of that awakening and that opening. And you can have that faith and trust and that intuition in what you do. So once you have that in yourself, once you ignite that within yourself, that power becomes stronger. That power becomes potent. You are now living in your passionate purpose, and you can bring those skills to everything. I have faith, I'll get the job. I have trust that I'll get the job. I have the experience. I have the wisdom. I have the clarity in my path forward. You see how that works? Now you're conquering the imposter. You have the clarity, you have the faith that you can do the business. You are no longer a fraud. You have faith and trust in yourself. Now you have faith and trust in your business. You have faith and trust in your clients, your networking, the people that are your friends, the people that you are working with. Understand how this works in this spiritual sense. When you understand that simplicity, you recognize, right? You acknowledge where you're at, recognize where you're at, recognize what's going on, acknowledge it, and be like, okay, I'm part of this. The common denominator in every scenario is me, this girl right here. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's this girl. And that's how you do that. You take and you say, you know what? That's me. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's me. I'm here. I'm part of this. That's what you need to understand before you go off anywhere else, is how that works in your life and how that needs to. And I'm here to help you. So you can go to illuminatevegas.com, or you can email me and say, hey, Nicole, how do I get that clarity? How do I recognize it? How do I acknowledge it? And then I'm going to release it. Release all the thoughts, release all the past experiences, release them. You're not getting rid of them because it's part of you. That shadow deep inside, that shadow is you. You want to not compartmentalize, but kind of put it in little files so you can bring it out later and say, hey, here's a lesson I need to learn. Here's something I can understand. Some things aren't all meant to be understood. If you don't understand it right now, you'll understand it tomorrow, or know that it has nothing to do with you. It's not to be understood. Part of that imposter syndrome is the fact that we feel fraudulent and that we don't have enough information. And at what point are you going to say, okay, enough's enough. I've got enough experience. I'm ready to recognize it and move forward. And I am ready to make it my business, my passionate life, my creation, right? Moving through that third chakra and opening up to creation. Part of that creation energy can be met with elemental beings, because these elemental beings, when you have fairies, when you have dragons, just feel like myth, right? You know, I've got this, my buddy that's here with me every day is this little candle. It's such a beautiful being because it represents to me that mothering energy. I Part of my guides are that mother dragon energy, that strength and that encouragement to not only nurture and protect, but to nudge you along. Dragons are strong and dragons can be fierce. Dragons are blunt. But dragons can also be patient and wait for that moment in time when kind of the world is catching up, if you know what I mean. So it's time to catch up to that strength and energy. If you want to be part of that energy, you have to be able to rise up and to stop. Whoop, this is not playing. Sorry, guys. It's kind of all over the place, my system here. We rely so much right now on computers, and I'm so thankful for that, because without these things, we wouldn't be able to, right? We can reach each other around the world, and we can be part of that greater consciousness, because we don't have to be necessarily in front of each other to be in that consciousness, right? But we can be with each other through different factions and different energies. And oh, this has gone a little weird. We can be part of one another through the telepathy, right? Through the thought mind, through the consciousness, through the heart, and through the third eye. We're going to move into right now. I was going to share something with you, but it doesn't necessarily want me to share this too much because it was such a fun little thing that I was looking for here. See if I can bring it up for you, because it is so beautiful, and it just kind of talks about it shows in picture form all the energies of right now, all the elements, and all of that dragon power. See if I can get that up. Doesn't look like it is going to come up, right? Silly, silly, silly thing here. Um, nope, doesn't want to come up today, I guess. That's just a silliness sometimes when we have um, things, we kind of plan, but we have to go away from that plan because For some reason, it doesn't want to cooperate, right? And that's okay. That's part of our lives, and that's part of our understanding how things are and how we can see so much that we are not this thing. We are so much more. We are that the temple of our body. We are the soul of our bodies. We are so much more. And we are beautiful, beautiful beings. Let's one last try here. You know, behind me, I have crystals and rosemary and some lavender. These pictures are so beautiful. It just kind of brings that sense of peace. And amethyst, you know, is such a beautiful rock mineral crystal um, that helps our higher ascension. And it brings us, it helps us, it encourages us. There it is. Look at that. Can you see that behind me? This beautiful, beautiful dragon right here. It is representing, if you can see that, it is representing the fire. The fire that fire is one of the elements, right? We need fire to survive. Fire is an element. Wind over here. If you can see that up here, the wind, right? The air. That is part of air. That is another element. Down further down right here is water. Water is an element. Water is a great element for putting blessings in it and allowing that crystallization within our body, the crystals, to be empowered as well. When we bless our water, right? That's an old little, not necessarily old, but there was some research with the blessing of water, and they can take the water crystals, and if you bless the water and think happy thoughts, like Peter Pan, right? Think of a happy thought, any happy little thought, it will change the crystalline structure of the water. Again, adversely, if you think a negative thought, it will change. It kind of diminishes and erodes that structure. So understand when you putting water in your body or you're around water, even a bath, like a sacred ritual full moon bath, pray into that water. Add essential oils, put in flowers, because you are compounding that beautiful energy. Also, what was the other one? Oh, you can't see it. Okay. Oh, here it is. There's where I put it, right here. It's graphic. I had so much fun making it. Right here is earth, so the plants. So we have earth, fire, water, air. What is that fifth element? And sometimes we don't talk about the fifth element. That fifth element is us, just like the show with Mila, where she was that fifth elemental. She is that spirit. Remember when they're in that kind of cave in the fifth element? And one of my favorite movies is they have the match, and it lights, and it opens up the structure, and they blow on one of the structures, and it is they blow the earth, and it opens the element, right? They put the ground on there, the sand that they're standing on another element that represents earth, right? So they have, you know, air, fire, water. They somebody has a little bit of water, or even your sweat, that is still an element of water, right? But the fifth element, they couldn't figure it out. That fifth element is the being, it's the enlightenment, it's the soul. That is the fifth element. And dragons are very much part of those elements. They can be part of the five elements. Dragons, in their wisdom and their strength, each one can represent a different faction of those elements. Dragons are very strong, dragons are very potent, and they're very, very powerful beings. So do not take on dragon energy lightly. It is the year of the dragon. It is the year of strength. And these are the things that we have to remember in using the dragon energy, is that we want to make sure that that we keep it, that we are able to rise up to the occasion. Because sometimes when the energy is too much, it gets scary, and we're in fear, and we feel negative because we don't know how to deal with the energy. We might not be ready for it. And if you ever watch Merlin, the episode Merlin, it's an older one where the young lad comes in and Merlin comes into the castle, and he's in King Arthur's castle. But there is a dragon that they have captured. And when he goes in there, the dragon is chained. And the dragon is not ready to be freed. And the dragon understands that. But he is only giving Merlin the advice and the tools to carry out where he's at. So, you're not ready to align with the tool. As a student is ready, the teachers will appear, and your energy will up level itself. It will grow stronger. It will become more potent. But it won't do that unless you're ready for it. Because if you're not awake and aware, and you haven't opened your intuition, and you haven't opened your heart, you are not going to be true, and you're not going to understand. So take the steps, and I encourage you sometimes to go slowly. However, if you don't continuously move and you're not in motion, you will not feel the change. Change for the sake of change isn't good. The change that you allow, be in awareness state, and you can allow these changes to take place as you watch them, right? You want to be ready. You want to have that clarity of thought, and you want to be able to watch what is going on as you go through the change, because sometimes we get frustrated. I'm not changing. I'm not moving forward. Why not? Because have you not taken the next step? Maybe you get as far from the dinner table to the door, but you haven't opened the door and crossed the threshold. That's up to you to make that change, because it's not coming here, right? When opportunity knocks, you have to open the door. Hello? Opportunity won't knock once, it'll knock twice, it'll continuously knock. But are you in that state of mind that you are awakened and aware for that opportunity? Are you awakened and aware and ready for the breakthrough? You can't have the breakthrough unless you have the breakdown. Trust me on this. You have to go sometimes through that breakdown. Allow yourself to be in that moment, not continuously. But that's, again, in another state of awareness for you. So when you are ready, that will open up. So just remember, there's a few things, and I keep repeating things, because that's how we learn. We might not quite grasp something the first time, but we'll grasp it the second time. It is also time to move forward. You no longer want to waste your time in that first step or those first years. We are meant to grow like children. We crawl, we walk, we run. Sometimes we run out of the house and run across the street and scare our parents. But that's the sense that we are experiencing and ready to understand what's going on. And we are ready to experience, but you can't be experienced if you're closed off. And that is part of the awakening energy, is to not try to be closed off, but it's okay to be in the moment and relish that moment. It is okay to say, you know what, I'm comfortable where I'm at, and I want to experience this time and this place right now, because I'm not going to get again. But it's when you constantly stay in that level and that dimension, and you don't move forward, that you won't receive the change. And it's hard to get past a few things, and that's okay. Take your time, experience, because we come to this planet, I believe, for the experience, for the emotions, for the drama, for the passion. But drama can be fun, it can be joyous. It's like, watching a good movie. There's the time for the drama, the time for the joy, right? The time maybe for the romance, and then the time for adventure. But each point, if you remember the good with the bad and the experiences, that's what makes you. So let's move forward in this dragon energy. So, dragons they can be very legendary creatures. mythical. But, if you go, whether it's Ireland or Scotland, or, you look into China or Japan, there's just dragons are there. Look at Merlin. We talk about that. Dragons are there. They are elemental beings, and they are not necessarily in this third dimension, though you can feel their energy. They are in 7, 9, moving up energies. They have to be at a different level and a different dimension and a different realm, because this realm is not the same energy, and it's not going to be able, they are not going to be able to coexist in this lower energy field. And that's okay. That is okay. And dragons should be revered as with light workers. And if you are working with dragon energy, I ask that you understand that it is strong. It's almost kind of like a warrior energy, where it can be strong and fast moving, and change can happen quickly. So be ready for that. You don't want to jump into it and be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? I'm not ready for this." It is a time, like in Narnia, where they're soaring through the air, and the dragon goes in at the right time. And because they're larger creatures, they can, they travel quicker, they're heavier, they're at a different velocity. And, you know, it can be a bit addictive, their energy. So try not to, um, let's say, let's say honor it. Okay. Honor the vices, honor the tools, and honor the elements and the beings that are helping you. I hope you guys don't hear this too much, but they're blowing around here. They're doing the landscape. So, it's the faction of kind of fighting with the human and the elements, right? Isn't that funny sometimes how things can be so enlightening and beautiful, and then you're brought right back down to earth, right? That's okay. So let's look at the fire dragon, right? Resides with volcanoes, and that is strong. Fire energy is strong, but fire can burn out. Fire needs air. Water can put it out. So remember that, like the phoenix. So when you're in that fire, you're in that moment, and it's just a moment of right now that it has to be like a phoenix. When the phoenix is ready to rise up and they burn, they get into that moment of fire. And what happens after that? It's ash. So be ready for that huge change. It's a huge change. So when you're ready to kind of burn, transform, and use that fire for what you need that energy for, to clear those maybe negative forces, to go through a change, that is when you use fire, right? We don't just use fire lightly, just like this, right? I love visuals. I'm a huge visual person. So when you're looking at things like sage, you need fire to burn it. But you don't want it to continuously burn, because if that sage is continuously burning, then it's going to and get engulfed in the flames, and you won't be able to use all of it anymore. It's going to burn too rapidly. You want to kind of use it slowly and carefully. There's a time for fire, like welding. When you weld something, you need that heat. Whoops. And like I said, it was going to go nuts, and it did. I just got my cord here. So that's what happens. You've got to remember, what are you using? What are you utilizing? How are you using it? What are you using it for? Things like that. We've got to remember what is going on. How are we using? Be wise and watch it. So when you come with fire, if you come from a point of anger and you're using fire energy and you just want to burn everything, you're going to burn everything. You'll have nothing left over. So be careful, be wise, use it when it's necessary. There's also the earth dragon. And I love this because the earth dragon you know, from mountains and floors and that energy and the strength. Earth is grounding, earth is strength. And it's physically incarnate on the time for the earth right now. And, you know, they might not trust humans. Why? Because how we treat the earth. So if you're using that earthly dragon, and you want that physical earth, like the plants and the trees, you got to have that respect. They're ready to return. Um, but remember, it's for traveling. So the earth dragon can be for traveling, right? Within the ley lines, for traveling the earth, understanding the planet. You know, just like the rune stones. The rune stones are placed on the ley lines within specific areas to marker certain areas. And we have to understand what that is for. And then we have the third dragon is the ice dragon, the glaciers around the world, right? Ice can be hard. Ice can be like snow. And if you got my newsletter, here's a shameless plug. Sign up for the newsletter, guys, because you'll get the monthly newsletter. You will get the weekly newsletter. You can go to sabotagesmasher.com and sign up for the newsletter. You'll not only get that wonderful information from how to overcome self-sabotage and self-love that I send out weekly, but you also get information about the show. And, you know, in my newsletter, I talk about how to use that, the tools with the dragon energy. And you want to use things like essential oils or herbs because you want to open up and be able to resonate on the same level. So if you're talking about an earth dragon, you want to use the resins of myrrh because earth is strong, right? When we're talking about also enlightening with the ice dragon, uh, like for example, December, I talked about the ice and the snow, the beautiful blanketing, and that white, clear board, just like if you were painting, you want a blank canvas. And that's what snow does. But snow can be cold, it can be rigid. Ice can, you know, just think of the iceberg and the Titanic, right? We all know that story, how it split the Titanic. But ice can be treacherous, but when it melts, it brings new life. So we have to have ice and we have to have water. uh, um, you know, and ice, the ice dragons also help us with spiritual attacks because it kind of freezes and it protects. And so it can freeze the negative energies. But remember, in the cold, and you can feel it just talking about the dragon, if you feel into that ice dragon energy, you feel that, oh, it's cold and I'm going to freeze it. You know, just like with a negative energy. Um, like attract like, so that freezing of that energy, that negative energies, if you do any paranormal hunts or you go to houses, you can feel that cold and that freezing, and so you know you sometimes you need to combat something with that same type of energy force, and that would be the ice, of course. Selenite crystals are great. Selenite's very neutralizing, and that's a beautiful thing to remember, that selenite is a good neutralizing tool, and you can use it for anything, for balance. And I keep it here when I'm on my computer or I'm doing my shows because it helps neutralize. Also, the water dragon. So again, water flowing. Water is a flowing energy. We need water. We are over 80% water. And we want to make sure that we are replenished, that we are hydrated, so we can be always at a higher healing state, and that we can heal quicker, we can heal faster, and we can regress in our state of aging. And that's how we do that with good water. So maybe a filtered water or a bottled water if you can. If not, fear not, bless your water. Use what you have. Don't be in fear. If you have to turn on a faucet, but you need to drink some water and you're worried about the fluoride in the water, fear not. Think about the water dragon, because the strength and the purity of the water dragon way over those water crystals and bring up that energy level. So when you put it in your body, Not only is it already good, but it helps activate those crystals in our body, and it helps reverberate the energy. You know, crystals like quartz. I always, always, always go back to quartz crystal because it's just a pure crystal, and it helps accentuate the reverberation of that crystal in and of itself. And it empowers those crystals. So if we are at a higher level, the people around us and our place, our home, and everywhere else is at a higher level, as at a better level, and they are vibrating at the level of love. Let's see what else. And I always come back to my notes because when I'm on this show, the Soulful Illumination Show, I'm channeling and I get just like, phew, I get my energy and I get excited. And so I always want to focus. And that just helps me focus. It's okay. It's okay. Right? That's that part of being human. The purity of water. Water is purifying. You know, water, when you drink water, water breaks down those foods, like those old, oh, go on a water diet. Well, how do you survive on a water diet? Only if you're cleansing. But if you're on a water diet, you have to think if you're digesting your food, water helps you digest. That's probably why you're a little bit hungry, unless you're in a state where you are fasting and you are spiritually preparing to level up, right? And you're just on that water, right? So you want to make sure that you have a great water source, and it just activates and it heightens the senses, just clearing out those toxins. Water is also good. Hey guys, colonics, or you want to use an enema, coffee enema, clears it out. Coffee and water, that's that water moving that through because it clears out. Coffee enemas clear out the anger in your liver. So if you're at a time when you just need a breakthrough and you're breaking down, breaking down, breaking down, and you just want to close off the world, run in your room, pull the comforter over your head and hide, I get it. But then when you wake up after you're rested and after you just fall into yourself and you kind of cry it out, and you're ready for the breakthrough, water, just even water, a colonic or whatever, an enema will help flush that anger out. It breaks down that food that gets in her gut, right? It breaks down the food and helps clear everything out. And then you put some fresh vitamins back in there. Then you start all over again. Isn't that funny? So, that's just some fun points with dragons and what they can do for us. So remember that the water energy, feminine energy, it is the opposite of the fire energy, though it can be destructive. Like water is in our tears, right? We feel anger, we feel that sense that we have been violated, or we're at our knees and we're ready to surrender. So it can be kind of hostile sometimes. Water can be. And just like a woman, I'm a woman myself, so I understand that how that water can be really fierce, or how can it be gentle, and how spring the new growth that we have harvested, excuse me, so we can sow our seeds and we can nourish them. And just remember that is in our bodies as well, right? And dragons are a gift. They are such a gift to us. And before I'm going to go into my reading, and we're just about out of time. I love having you guys today. Just the dragons were calling. And so what I want to do is there's a bit of an invocation. It's very quick. It's a beautiful invocation that I found, and it is lovely. It is soft, but it is potent. Again, dragons, no mess, no time. They don't need the fluff. They don't. Dragons are strong. And I love fairy energy, but fairy energy is jovial, so they need a little more cuddling, and they need a softer story. Whereas dragons, they're fierce and the bluntness, and they can bring you soaring high. So remember that. Remember, what is it that you are calling the dragon energy in for? Do not just call the dragon in and go, "Hey, dragon, come here." Because that's an energy that you're probably not going to like if you're not ready for it and you're not aligned to it. Oh, here we go with the dragons. Power beings of the dragon realm, I call out to you today. Dragon beings of the power realm, I call out to you today. Come forward now as I offer you my light and ask you to enter the dream state. Enter my dream state and show me your guidance at the time. Beautiful. So, yes, they're dreaming. Can you feel that energy? Just feel into them, calling that energy in. And do that one more time because it's so beautiful. And I don't want you to miss that because you're going to feel, sometimes you feel that strength, right? So remember, when you're awakened and you are open in your heart and in your intuition, your third eye, and you're ready to call this forward. So power beings of the dragon realm, I call out to you today, come forward now as I offer you my light and ask that you enter my dream state and show me your guidance. So it is. And when you ask this, it is the wisdom and use the information wisely. The information that comes to you, for me, when this information comes in, it is not a time to journal. It is a time to be. It is a time of instant clarity, instant manifestation, and instant understanding. And those dragons will help you travel through the realms and they will pick you up. But be ready for the descent because it's quick. So you have to be prepared. It's a beautiful energy to work with. And the reason of this is the transition. It is times, my friend, it is the time to be in your power. It is time to move forward, to move up, to rise up, and to use them. The message that you receive, you're going to want to act upon. And that's why you want a moment of just being. If you're not ready for that, go ahead. Go to my website. Schedule a discovery call. Schedule a Reiki session, a crystal Reiki session, so we can get you, your aura is balanced, right? And that it is expanded exuberantly and help you in that state of storing and the state of traveling. And here for the Golden Atlantean Dragon helps you remember the wisdom of Golden Atlantis. Awaken, bring back your knowledge, gifts, talents, and reclaim your journey. Isn't that funny? And I love these cards. And they're just a tool for fun. And it's to show you what is going on to awaken your, to heighten you. These simple things. Air and fire. Harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. Why not be in creation right now? If you're stuck at home and you're not doing anything else, you might as well be in creation. You might as well connect to your strengths and dragons, because dragons will help you move forward and just fly and soar. And that is the time that we are in now. And that is the wisdom of the dragons, is they are beings to contact when you are ready to awaken into your light. And the journey and the things that you'll see within them, the elements and the elementals, if you worked with elemental creatures, elves or dragons, and allowed yourself, there's such a beauty in what you'll see. It is so fun. And it's fantastical at times, but just interpret it for you and be in the moment. Just be in the moment right now. Thank you, my friends, for sailing along with me today and being so patient with me. With, when we have higher energy, sometimes our computer equipment goes on the fritz. That's okay. We're back to you today. I will see you next Thursday. Again, if you have any questions, illuminatingvegas@gmail.com, Nicole Borghi at sabotagesmasher.com, and just schedule a discovery call and let me help you on your journey to discovering your intuition and your clarity to teach you to have faith and trust in yourself.